Yeah. So, hello everyone. Thank you for joining us in Mumbai MuleSoft Meetup Group chapter. And as of today, we will be going through MuleSoft Intelligent Document Processing, which will be presented by Ashish. Can we move on to next slide, please, Ashish? Yeah. This is a safe harbor statement. So neither the host or neither the speaker is responsible for any of your purchasing decision. This is purely meant for your non-profit reasons in order to share knowledge with the broader community. So any purchasing decision should not be made based upon our today's meetup. Yeah, we can go forward, Ashish. This is the agenda again. So Ashish will be presenting on IDP, some key components of IDP, prompts, then IDP architecture, queries and analyzer, and we'll go with a demo. And at the end, we have a networking, and we'll wrap it up for today. And this is for the organizers. So again, I am Megesh Shanoy. I am organizer and organizer of Mumbai MuleSoft Meetup Group, and I do have fellow organizers who didn't join, were not able to join us today, but some of them are MuleSoft ambassadors and are key names in this MuleSoft ecosystem as well. Yeah, and go to next slide. Yeah, Ashish, over to you. I mean, you can
Yeah,
present it up.
yeah. Thank you so much, Megesh. First of all, I'll thank everyone joining on a Saturday afternoon, right? It's a lazy Saturday afternoon, but thank you so much for joining. And thank you, Megesh, and the entire team of Mumbai MuleSoft Meetup to provide me this opportunity of speaking at one of your virtual meetups. About me, I have like 6 years of experience, mostly into integration domain. Oh, how can I? Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So 6 years of experience into integration domain. I worked on TIPCO, and for the last I think 4 to 5 years, I'm working on MuleSoft. And currently, I'm also a MuleSoft mentor and a GTM champion, and I'm an active member of the MuleSoft community. Uh, so today's topic is intelligent document processing. Again, this is a relatively new product. Currently, it's not GA or generally available. It's in beta phase or beta testing phase. So once I think in second quarter, MuleSoft will launch this product for everyone. And right now, the demo which you will be seeing, it's more of an pilot edition, and then things can change, once the entire product gets launched. So before learning, what is IDP, I want to, specifically highlight that what we need to learn before, IDP. So first of all is what are prompts, right? So before moving on to prompts, so right now, there is AI revolution going on, and then there are large language models. So basically, two types of AIs that we are seeing. First one is the generative AI, mostly related to Chat GPT, Google Gemini, and then there are like predictive AIs who can predict tomorrow's future growth or future values based on the historic data. So prompts are more related to generative AI. Again, what are prompts? Prompts are basically sentences or queries provided by users to interact with these language models. They are a way to users to request specific informations, generate content, or engage a conversation with AI, AI LLM. It can be a large language model, and then so prompt has a specific response, task or a generation, and how it differs from a non-prompt is non-prompt can be somewhat broader request. It can be let's say if you look at those examples, it can be a simple statement, right? Hi, my name is Josh. So I'm not asking anything to the large language, to the AI model to give me something specific. It's a generic statement. Even you look at the second explanation, right? Second non-prompt, it is describe the characteristics of black hole. Again, there can be two characteristics, there can be 10 characteristics, so it does not have a definite answers. So these statements, they generally, lie in non-prompts. Whereas if you look at prompts, right? So translate to French, hello, how are you? So it gives me a specific response of the statement. It will translate hello, how are you into French. If you look at the second example, explain the process of photosynthesis. Again, it's a specific thing that I'm asking. It does not, give me like an essay or photosynthesis. It will just tell me which is what is a generic specific process of how photosynthesis is done. So, what is MuleSoft IDP, right? Now we have learned what are prompts. We can move on to MuleSoft IDP. Again, intelligent document processing. It enables you to extract data from documents and perform like further analysis of content using Einstein AI capabilities. So a user has to send in a document. Again, it can be of any type. It can be like a resume, or let's say it can be an invoice or a bank statement. And along with the document, the user will also send in a prompt, and then this data goes into MuleSoft IDP. And MuleSoft IDP, first of all, it extracts data out of the document, and along with that, it does content analysis using Einstein AI capabilities. So two things are happening here. One is extraction, and second one is uh, analysis of the extracted data using AI. And MuleSoft IDP will then send a response back to the user. So we'll move on to MuleSoft IDP architecture. So on a high level, MuleSoft IDP has two things. Again, as I mentioned, one is extract data that is done by AWS Textract, and the content analysis, it's done by Einstein AI. So MuleSoft IDP, you could say, it's something more of a wrapper onto these two services. And once you send, let's say, a document and a prompt to MuleSoft IDP, it will first send the document to AWS Textract. It will extract that data, and the extracted data along with the prompt will be sent into Einstein AI, and then Einstein AI will do the content analysis and send back the overall response to MuleSoft IDP. And then MuleSoft IDP will basically send the entire response back to the user. We can move on to next slide. So we'll take questions at the end. I have specific time allotted for that. I'll try to answer as many questions at the end of our demo. So the next topic is queries and analyzers. So as I mentioned, right, there are two things happening. One is extraction of data, and second one is content analysis. So the prompts that are sent for extracting data are called as queries. So in this case, queries are the questions in natural language that enable you to extract something specific from a document. Again, that specific thing, again, in queries, uh, it will, I mean, MuleSoft IDP will not able to understand what is outside the document. So in query, you cannot send in a prompt uh, that is outside of the data that you are sending. However, in analyzers, these are the questions that are for content analysis. So once you extract the data, the analyzer prompts are basically used to further examine the data using Einstein AI capabilities. So let's say you are sending in an invoice document. So along with invoice, you could send a query such as, what is the subtotal amount? What is the grand total? What is the due date? So the data or the answers to these questions lies within the document. However, if you look at, the analyzer prompts, so it's more of, give me a summary of this document. What is the type of this document? So there is no specific answer in the data that is there in those invoices. So Einstein AI has to use its generative AI capabilities to answer these questions. So we'll be following a small demo for MuleSoft IDP. Again, this is a beta product. It's not generally available. So if you are a partner, you can check with MuleSoft to provide you beta access to MuleSoft IDP. So again, this is your AnyPoint platform. So my organization currently has access to this beta version, so I'm able to access it. There is no, you know, path or a button, that you can see for IDP. However, this is more of a backend access as of now that is provided to us. So once you launch MuleSoft IDP, right, you can see there are three actions that are available. One is generic document, one is invoice, and one is purchase order. So as of now, three types of documents can be analyzed by MuleSoft IDP. Down the line, there can be multiple things coming in. Documents such as resumes, which are pretty, non-standard documents. So those actions will be added down the line. So for now, let's go with invoices. So if I click on invoice, similarly there is this document action. It will navigate me to the document action. And once I'll explain document action, I'll explain what are review tasks. So once we open this plane, right, this playground of document action, you can see you have three specific options. One is to upload your file, uh, and the two other options are query and analyzers. Again, query is handled by AWS Extract. So we need to ask something specific out of the document. You could ask them using query prompts. And then for content analysis, you have this Einstein analyzer to ask more of, what is outside the document or what extra analysis you need to do on top of the extracted data. So what I'll do is I'll choose a simple, invoice. I'll just open this. So this is a specific, sample invoice that is there. So your company logo invoice, it is billed to John Smith, some address. It has like invoice number, date of issue, due date, and there are like four items, and the total is $1,890. So I'll upload this invoice. Okay, so this invoice has been uploaded. I'll add a query. So in this case, my query is, let's say what is the total amount? Okay, and I want this answer to be stored in a variable called as amount. And my query for Einstein analyzer, so in this case, let's say the total amount is $1890. So let me ask this question to MuleSoft IDP. So can I afford all the items in all the items if I have $1,000? Okay, so this prompt is more of a content analysis, and the above prompt is more of what we can get out of the document. And I'll store this value in something called as afford variable. and I'll run this. Now, somewhat right now this is in beta phase, so this takes some time, but we'll wait for a couple of minutes. And if it doesn't work, I'll just retry it. But meanwhile, if there are any questions, I'll be answering those. So if you have any questions, please post them in the chat box. Yeah, go on, Vijay Raghavan. Yeah, please.
Vijay, you can unmute and you can ask your question. So I see a question. Can you please explain business use case where it can be used in real life scenario?
Sure. So, Rahul, in this case, right, let's consider you are a big enterprise company and you have multiple different vendors, and you keep on adding new vendors, every month. Now, every vendor, sends in a different type of invoice. It is non-standard. It they every vendor has their own invoice templates, so it becomes difficult task to adjust our code to extract data out of those documents, to get data out of different 100 different templates. So that's where you can use products such as intelligent document processing to get data out of it. So if you look at the output, so it has answered correctly, right? What is the total amount? The answer is 1890, which is correct. And can I afford all the items if I have $1,000? Again, the total amount is greater than what I have. So the Einstein analytics has answered no. Now you look at if you look at the output, right, there is some percentage associated with it. So this percentage is coming from the AWS extract algorithm. So there is something called as a confidence score of the AI model, how confident AWS extract is in extracting a particular data. So if you look at item description, so AWS extract is 91% confident that these characters mean blue round neck size M t-shirt, or this means the it is written as black. However, if you look at your company logo, it has a low confidence score, so it has highlighted this. Again, the threshold for this online tool is 80%. So if it's above 80, you'll get a green confidence score, and then if it's below 80, uh, you'll get you need to review those items. So that's where review tasks come into picture. And everything by Einstein, right? Again, it's a generative AI model, so we cannot rely on what output Einstein is sending. Again, it learns as and when we grow. So all the outputs that are sent by Einstein, they generally fall into review tasks. So if I click on, okay, I need to sign in back. So this was my output 4 minutes ago, and it has, uh, in review task, IDP is telling me that, hey, I need to review these three items. So one is the output by Einstein. So this comes by default, and then the statements or the values decoded by AWS extract that have the confidence score below 80%. So if I want, again, I'm a manual validator in between the business process. I can basically, if I want, I'll just review it. Hey, this looks good. If there is some change, I'll just edit it, and I'll click on submit and done. So once I click on submit and done, this review task gets completed, and I can no longer see this review task. You can also see the high level JSON that is created. Again, every file has its own transaction, and right now the status is manual validation required. And these are my query results. These are my analyzer results. Okay, so if I click on submit and done, this task will get completed, and my overall business flow gets completed. So I'll move on to a few questions. So I think yeah, Gustavo has this. Hi all. IDP features require AWS to work. Einstein Analyzer is for interpreting prompts and applying them back to the info extracted. Yes, that is right. So there are two things. Again, AWS extract is used to extract data out of those documents, and Einstein, is used to do content analysis. Yeah,
Hey,
go ahead, Vijay. Yeah.
yeah. Hey, first of all, thank you very much for bringing this topic to the forum. Much
Mhm.
appreciated. This is much informative. I have just a couple of questions. So I know this is in the beta stage. Okay.
Mhm.
What is the the down the line roadline map that they have, like when they are planning to release?
So as of now, I think MuleSoft has mentioned it will be launched somewhere in the second quarter of this year.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't have an exact date as of today.
Got
I
it.
can answer it up.
Yeah.
So it will be released somewhere in their summer 24 release, that is June, some June timing, and then probably uh, next year or winter 25 they will be adding templates in IDP. So there will be also, so in right now if you see we have limited options, right? We only process three of them, but they would add more templates and give more flexibility to the users.
Right. So will it be available to the public, rather than the
Yeah.
partners? Okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, got it. My second question is, so currently I understand this feature is like being enabled, as part of the independent platform in the control plane, right?
Mhm.
But thinking in the broader perspective, this feature could be used across, if you're talking about system integration through independent platform, or if you're going for the process automation through Composer, or if you're going for the human task automation to RPA, this can be plugged in anywhere. So, do you have any insight whether MuleSoft is going to give this feature across all these three layers? Let's say for
Uh,
specifically
yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
talking about the system integration, right? What I'm through which I'm going to happen
Yes.
through the endpoint
Yes.
platform. So can I
Right.
get it as a connector, so that, like, for example, I go to a AWS bucket and get the files, and based on the analyzer and query that I'm going to feed in, so I'll be having multiple subsequent event processing that going to happen. Okay, so this I'm
Right.
just giving
Right.
a case study. So yeah,
Yeah.
go ahead.
Yeah, so Vijay, no idea on the connector release, but they have provided an API specification. Again, it relies on you'll have to create a connected API with your connected, credentials, connect ID credentials,
Hmm.
and then use this API specification to call in and generate results. So I'm going to show this as part of my next demo. So I have downloaded this API specification and the Postman request to access MuleSoft IDP. So I'll
is,
have to create
is it like
yeah,
a platform
you'll have
API?
to create. Yes, it's more like a platform. Correct.
Okay, yeah, platform API is
So you
fine.
need to create a token.
Mhm.
Yeah. So as of now, it's platform API, but as and when the product releases, we can have connectors.
Right.
Uh,
See,
but as
this
of
one is
now,
a brilliant feature. Okay, but if at all
information.
MuleSoft planning to have in the endpoint platform feature, it's going to be a manual process. Like people has to get into the platform control plane and they have to feed in the document and whatever the process they want to do, right? But I'm pretty much sure they should be having it. But let's see, because I mean I'm curious to know what would their roadmap about it.
Sure, sure. Yeah. Once the IDP tool gets launched, right, we'll have a better idea on how MuleSoft. Right. As of now, even the pricing is now they are going to price it. Is it based on how many files we are sending or how many queries or prompts we are running? So on that, it's more on to beta testing.
Agreed, agreed. And yeah,
So
and
similarly, okay.
maybe one further question to that. Even if they are going to provide, right? Like, do you think that will they be keeping under the control plane, or they are going to provide in the runtime plane option, so that with the various part of deployment models, if at all they are going to provide as a connectors to the endpoint platform?
Yeah, I think even if they do not provide it as a connector, right, you can still use the file and get
I agree.
data
I'm,
out
I'm
of
talking.
ID.
Yeah, for now I agree. uh, yeah, my question is, do you have any insight, like, further? Would they be converting a right after the beta version?
No. Yeah, yeah.
Okay,
No,
okay,
no
no issue.
insights as of now, Vijay. Yeah. Yeah.
Thanks, Ashish.
And so this is more of a yeah. Uh, so you can upload this file again. It goes as a form data. You can basically complex, analyzer prompt. Case, I have asked extract the following invoice number, name, total amount, and I have provided, right, I want the response in JSON, and I have mentioned like a typical format of JSON, and I have also I'm also setting the confidence score of 40. Now in the UI, by default, the confidence score is 80%, but you can tweak it once you have this download API spec. So you can basically set your own confidence score. So I'll just upload it. Okay, I need to set. Okay, so right now the file has been uploaded. Action ID. So this works more in asynchronous manner. Now I have to wait until the AWS extract gets the invoice and Einstein analysis. Einstein AI does its content analysis. So I have to set this ID over here. Okay, so it's saying me, manual validation required. Now I'll go back. I'll go back to review tasks. So all the outputs of Einstein AI require manual validation. Again, Einstein AI is still learning, so not all, it can send some wrong responses as well. So to handle that, all the uh, outputs of analyzer prompts go into your review tasks. Yeah. So it has given me, the output of analyzer, like invoice number is 0088. What is the total amount? What is the customer name? And what are the items in JSON? So now once I'll click this as submit and done, I'll go back and I'll send this status, action, get action execution, and my status turns to succeeded for this particular document. So that's how you can use Postman IDP from API. So this was example of an invoice. We'll also add a generic response. So for generic response, again, this is more of a generic document. So it can be anything. So I have, I'm considering something as a resume. So if you could consider this business case, right? Many companies, they receive resumes or client CVs in multiple different format, and there is no standard format that a company accepts, right? A person can send his resume. It can have a different format as compared to all other applicants. So MuleSoft IDP can be used here to get extract data out of those hundreds of resumes, and you can perform content analysis based on using Einstein AI. So I'll just share another example. So this is a resume, a sample resume of John Smith, who has like 4 years of experience in the career of adult care, child care experience. This is employment history, education, and everything. Now, what I'll do is I'll choose this resume. First of all, I'll add experience, a question for experience, like what is, or let's say, how many years of experience does the applicant have? Okay. And I'll store this in EXP years. So this is my query. And something for an analyzer, right? Now, if you look at the example of this resume, John Smith has experience in adult care experience, child care experience. So let me ask this question. Can the, or, does the person have experience in taking care of a 22-year-old? And I'll add this adult experience, right? And I'll run this model. Now, again, this is a generic thing. Right now, it's in beta phase. So it takes time. So meanwhile, this model runs, I'll take some questions. Any idea if AWS cost will be covered by IDP subscription? If the customer will need its own AWS? No. So AWS cost will be covered in the IDP subscription itself. We do not, or a customer does not require to, purchase or have its own AWS account. Okay, so if you look at the output, again, by Einstein, adult experience, yes, the person has experience. And like how many years of experience? 4 years. Okay. Okay, there is a question from Rahul saying, can I upload multiple files one shot and do comparison together? Right now, that capability is not there, but once the product, it will get launched, they might have something like this. But as of now, it's just one document at a single time. However, you could use MuleSoft code to upload those files in a transaction. Again, they cannot be uploaded in a bunch, but you can upload them one by one. Okay, can I create a global variable, use the same variable to do a comparison between multiple docs? So as of now, again, the comparison thing is not there. So we cannot create, or have some kind of a custom variable. So you cannot have, two documents uploaded at a given point of time as of now. So once the product gets launched, there might be a feature that will get added, to compare the docs. Okay. And here are like few of the outputs, right? That I was testing this IDP, and I have just taken like screenshots of the output, so that I'll just share. You know. Okay. So query again. What is the overall GPA? The overall GPA is 3.4. It it has captured. So this AWS extract output. How many years experience? Again, this has been captured at the very top. It says 4 years. Okay. The second document was related to. Okay, now this was another thing that I tried. So if you look at the output, the years of experience here, John Smith has written 4 years. But if you look at the employment history, right? So John started working from 1996 to 1997, 91 to 1999. Again, 1999 to 2002. So if 1996 to 2000 shows 6 years of experience. However, in career summary, John has written 4 years. So again, I mentioned more related to what we have in the document. Einstein AI, it so if you look at my Einstein AI prompt, right? According to the employment history, has given the right output, which is 6 years, and the applicant have, it's showing me 4 years. Claude AI also does. Would like to know what are the additional different topic. I think if Claude has, if we can upload data or invoices to Claude, again, Claude AI can have that capability. I'm not sure. I haven't explored Claude AI that much, but done by MuleSoft. However, in this case, it's Einstein AI. That is okay. Yeah. So these are the experience, and then I think there were a few that were for invoices. Yeah, analyzer prompt, give me output in JSON, which is fine. Yeah, can I afford it if I have $1,000? No. Yeah. So the demo. Have any other questions? We can answer them. These are the beta docs that are currently available for IDP. However, this can change once the entire product is launched in summer 2024.
Tish, so what is the reliability of this, Einstein AI in terms of the analyzer that you are giving?
So again, it depends on how accurate your prompt is, Vijay, first of all, and then we need to play around it, right? Again, it's still a large, language learning model, right? It gets trained every year, so it depends on how trained it has become till now. But it is pretty accurate. I have tried multiple things, and it has given me like the correct output.
Right. And is there any case studies that MuleSoft has provided, or the documentation that, like, how this can be used? See, as of now, from the demo perspective, what we can see that, we can access this beta version through any platform, and we can, feed in certain documents to do the queries and, analysis. That is fine. But as a case study, do we have any idea about it, like, how this can be implemented to an enterprise level, architecture?
Again, that as I mentioned, right, few of the cases that I thought of is one was, the vendor invoice upload, right? That so multiple different vendors are sending in templates of their own, and you can use something like IDP to, get data out of it. The second, real life case study was, resume parsing. So again, different types of resumes. And as Megesh mentioned, there are different document action, that can get added. There is something called as check analysis. So let's say there are different banks issuing different checks, right? And each check will have its own different format, and you cannot just add those many number of cases to handle them. So you can basically use MuleSoft IDP to handle that. Once the product gets launched, MuleSoft will release some documentation, real life cases to it will have their own success stories. But as of now, it's just beta docs that are released by MuleSoft.
Got it. But I'm more interested to know, like, once they release it, right? So how they are
Yeah.
going to incorporate this into their existing offerings.
Correct. Yeah. So again, it will be more of a add-on feature, I suppose. Or let's say if you are well versed with MuleSoft RPA, right? So RPA has more of invoice parsing, handwritten document parsing, these kind of use cases. So along with that, uh, you know, you'll get IDP to do content analysis on top of it.
Right.
Yeah.
I
Okay.
believe this feature they won't be using it only for MuleSoft, but it would also be used with Salesforce as well. Because in Salesforce as well, we have this document processing going on at a very use scale, right? Because it's like more of a customer facing. So even if you
Correct.
look at the image, there is a mascot over there, and I believe that someday or another they would integrate it with Salesforce so that they can have seamless document processing as well.
Right. Exactly. Yeah. And Rahul is saying in case of multiple vendors, each will have their own terminology in invoices. So ultimately, a person will need to go through it and write doc specific queries. Similar is the case for general upload. So yeah, Rahul, again, this this needs to be done if you want to get something extensively out of those invoices. But simple queries such as what is the total amount of invoices or how many number of quantities of an item was purchased. It is template independent. You can send the same query to multiple different templates and it will give you results based on its query analysis or Einstein analysis. So again, it depends on how complex analysis or how complex insights you want to get out of those templates. But you could get simple data out of it easily. Any other questions? And these are, let me share the doc link as well.
Think we have another question. Yeah. So Gustavo was saying that I understood that right now in beta, it's not possible to integrate with IDP via API to upload a document. Then ask the prompt via API is possible, but not to retrieve the results. Did I understand it correctly?
Right now, beta, it's not possible to integrate IDP via API to upload a document. Then ask the prompt via API is possible, but not to retrieve the result. Uh, yeah, I think so, Gustavo. In this case, if you set the right confidence score, and if you don't have any kind of Einstein queries, right, along with your request, so if I just remove this Einstein query and if I just add a query prompt, right, which is for AWS tech stack, and if my confidence score is, something somewhere near low, right, 40%. So of getting like a manual acknowledgement, I'll be directly getting a succeeded response, and I'll get the same output that is present in, my review task download JSON option that is there. So you can get direct output. However, if your query has some Einstein prompts, uh, as the AI, it can send some wrong responses. That is why there is a manual intervention. Someone needs to review what output the AI is sending, and once it gets reviewed, you'll see, you'll get a succeeded response. So if you look at the output, the same output you'll get in query, in Postman. So you can basically integrate it with any point code as well.
Any other question, guys?
And okay, thank you. And to upload the document only manual, no, you can upload the document using I think this is form data. So if you have form data present, you could upload a file using. Yes, it looks very interesting for outsourcing business. And if you have like a simple job of viewing templates, reviewing resumes, it can be easily, automated using MuleSoft IDP. On a side, if you look at how AWS extract, uh, so it's more based on how many pages you're sending per month. So you could expect similar pricing coming into MuleSoft based on how many documents you are uploading, or let's say how many prompts you're using. So that you could expect like similar pricing once the product gets launched. And the query part, right? It's coming from this AWS extract queries.
I think we don't have any other question. And yep. So thank you, Ashish, for taking this session. And it was really an awesome session presented by you. The slides, the demo, and everything were on point. And I enjoyed it a lot. And I expect everyone who joined us today would have enjoyed as much as I did. And for the feedback, you will be getting a link on your email. So kindly fill it up so that we can present, we know that what session you want, and we'll be arranging some awesome sessions by Ashish or any other MuleSoft mentor or community leader out there. Uh, yep, that's all for today.
Yeah. Again, thank team, thank you, Migesh, and all the organizers. It was a great session, and then thank you for all those who have asked wonderful questions. This also helps me to explore more and try to understand MuleSoft ecosystems better. If you have any other questions, you could reach out to Megesh or me anytime. You could, just search me on LinkedIn or, send in any message. So I'll be happy to, answer those questions for you.
Mm, okay, that's all, guys. Thank you for joining us today, and we hope to see you in our next session topic.